Hello, that's Greg.
Back once again with the ill behaviour.
And today is the third round of...
You haven't told you who you are.
I'm Jason. You're supposed to tell them who I am.
Yeah, but I did the back once again with the ill behaviour.
Today...
I think that's funny when you do that. In a speaking way. Don't you?
Today is the third round of the Board Game Championships of the World.
In a terrible American accent.
In today's Board Game Championships of the World.
Why'd you do world like that?
Because it's like the guy who goes, let's get ready to rumble.
It's more like a guy driving a tractor, isn't it? World.
Anyway, today it is Space Attack.
Never heard of it.
Versus Mousetrap. Well, that's the end of that episode, isn't it?
Oh well, we don't know what's going to win this one.
Let's have a look at Space Attack, Greg.
Oh, I'll just put this down then.
Okay.
Very carefully.
Be warned. Once the alien missile is launched, only the player quick enough with his deflector shield will survive. In Space Attack, only the quickest survive. Space Attack from Action GT.
So, this, Greg, was a toy that I asked for a couple of years when I was a kid and eventually got it. And I remember opening this on Christmas Day and thinking it was the best thing ever. Space Attack, Greg. Have you ever played it?
No.
So it's kind of a bit like air hockey, only more dangerous.
That's probably why I never had one, because I had a full-blown air hockey table when I was a child.
Of course you did, Greg. This is like Crossfire and all of those games when you were a kid that had small metal parts that are probably toxic.
Just want me to...
Well, I'll have done a close-up of it by now.
No, it's alright, I'm just being...
I've broken a foot off of it.
A what?
A foot. Anyway, this is Space Attack.
This is a Space Attack.
This is the playing piece. There is actually a little piece missing that goes over the top of there. It's not necessary. Don't know why it was there. This is going to scare you now.
Not as much as Buckaroo.
Not as Buckaroo. But this is quite a scary process to get this going. Then when we release it, Greg, it will fly into there and you have to stop it from going into your end, because then I'll score a goal and you have to try and get it into my end.
So what do I just do that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, is anyone watching this?
Here we go. You ready? All right. How are you? You want to play it again, don't you?
Well, yes. It's not that. It's just a couple of things. Why don't they give you protective gloves?
Because it was 1980.
Why don't they give you goggles?
Because it was 1980.
And then when this piece here, this solid piece of pointing metal here, goes into there, I don't know whether you noticed, but sparks are flying. That's horrific, that game.
1-0 to me. Want to play again?
Yeah, but it's the noisiest thing in the world, isn't it?
No. Get ready for it again.
I will win this one.
You won't.
I will. Oh, God.
Just before we play one more,
Yeah.
I'll just tell you that this came out in 1980, Greg, made by MB Games. And it was also in other territories called Rocket Hockey.
How did they get away with that? That's a metal pointy piece of...
Rocket Hockey seems like a more appropriate name to me.
It's just danger.
And that's about as much as I know about it.
That's all you need to know.
I love it. It was made by Action GT, who were a very good maker of games and underrated in my opinion. Made things like Crossbows and Catapults.
Oh, of course they did.
Perfection.
Of course they did. Oh, Perfection.
You know, all those kind of games. Here we go.
This must have hurt people.
I'd have thought so.
Here we go. sparking! Look at the sparks!
I feel like we need to have a decider, do you?
Well, it's only right, isn't it?
Here we go.
I'll just put my one there. They expect you to do this how many times?
Ready? Brace yourself.
I'm so angry. It was a fix.
I mean, you have to be honest, there's not that much skill involved, is there? We're just going like that.
Yeah, but I was put off. I was put off.
Oh, what?
The knob fell in the thing.
How do you feel about Space Attack, Greg?
I mean, it's quite good, but I mean, can you imagine? You bought this for your kids, and then all you can hear is that noise going off on a Sunday.
And this is apparently appropriate for ages 6 and over.
Here, kids. There's a piece of pointy, sharp metal for you.
It's probably toxic.
Yep, go and have a play with it for a bit. It's just terrible.
That is Space Attack.
I'm gonna throw this one out there and shock you again with this.
You never had Mousetrap?
Do you know, I didn't, but it had to be one of the most popular board games ever.
I'm going to go out on a limb. And say that far more people will recognise Mousetrap than recognise Space Attack.
I would absolutely bet everything I own on that. But this is such a popular game, and yet, like, that's what I'm saying, I never really had it, never asked for it, but I know of it, and I know everybody loved it, and it was advertised for years.
Well, do you remember how we used to talk about toys that were disappointing?
Yeah.
Like Mr. Frosty apparently was really rubbish once you got it. This game kind of falls into that category. Because aside from setting off the trap at the end, the actual gameplay is total rubbish.
I think it's the same as everything, isn't it? The advert made it look fantastic.
Oh, don't get me wrong, setting off that thing at the end and watching it go is amazing. And I'm not sure all the pieces are in there, Greg, so we'll have to have a look. But let's get it out.
Hey, give that back!
Mouse trouble? Then you need Mousetrap. Mousetrap, I guarantee it's the craziest trap you'll ever see. The first to capture everyone else's mouse is the winner. Just turn the crank and snap the blank and boot the marble right down the chute. Now watch it roll and hit the pole and knock the ball in the rubber duck tub, which fits the man into the pan. The trap is set. Here comes the net. Ouch! Mousetrap, I guarantee it's the craziest trap you'll ever see. I knew you were a winner. Mousetrap from Milton Bradley.
Right, so the idea of the game, Greg, was you had a dice and you had one of these little plastic mice and you would start somewhere around here on the start square. There it is, home. Roll the dice and you go along until you land on add a piece. When you land on add a piece, you start to build the Rube Goldberg contraption.
The what, sorry?
Rube Goldberg.
What's that?
That's the name of the guy who kind of invented this like chain reaction machine where you press something then something else happens. And
That was Diana Ross.
Anyway, what we're going to do, Greg, is we're not going to play with the dice because we never did that anyway. We're going to try and build this, even though I think some pieces are missing.
We're gonna what, this?
Yeah. Don't worry, Greg. Just click your fingers and it'll be done.
Okay, what, like this?
I mean, I'm not calling into question your click ability, Greg, but this doesn't appear to be complete.
What? So it's Mousetrap.
So we can't actually demonstrate it.
So what's the point in me just spend the last half hour putting this together?
I'll have to try and find a video of it incomplete. But essentially what happened was
What happened was...
you would turn the crank that would do that, would boot that, that would go down there like that. Then that would hit that and the ball would go that way into the bathtub, fall on there, the man would jump into the tub and the trap would go catch the mouse.
Jason, smooth.
Phenomenal TV there, I think, Greg.
Right, I have a few questions.
Go on then.
Number one is, I think the mouse would have got away by the time you finished that. That's the one thing. The second thing is, when does this ever get used in this game?
That's it. It's the end. You build it.
So
throughout
the whole game, you play the whole game, so let's say half an hour.
Yeah.
And the only time that wonderful contraption thing gets used
It's when your mouth gets on the cheese there at the end, yeah.
and then he has to wait for all that to happen for the trap to come down. Why didn't they just bash it with a bat?
That's what I'm saying, Greg. It was just a very disappointing game. That was the best bit of it.
I mean, I imagine the game was lots of fun if you've got the right parts.
Right, Greg, I think our minds have been changed.
This is going to shock some people.
Even if this were complete, I think the disappointment factor means that it cannot go through.
Well, do you know what, Jace? I'm going to agree. And I'll tell you why I'm going to agree, because I never had this game, like I said at the start. But I always wanted it. No, I didn't want it. That's a lie. I always liked the advert. It looked appealing. It looked great. It looked fun. But then we've just set all that up. You spent a good hour and a half putting it together with not even the full bits. And you to tell me at the end of it that the only time that all that main bit of the advert gets used is at the last roll of the dice,
It's
really.
very anticlimactic, isn't it, Greg? The game on.
Oh, right. I thought it was a bit Rip Rude on TV.
The advert. the advert is the whole game.
That's why I'm.
We had fun playing this, didn't we?
Oh,
I know it's dangerous.
Dangerous.
I know it's got toxic metal in it.
You need a welding kit when you're playing that.
You do need one of those masks.
Yeah.
On. Sparks do fly. However, I'd have carried on playing that, Greg, for another couple of rounds.
Whereas this,
you know, it's one of those classics that's just not going to make it through because it's very, very disappointing.
What?
Don't get me wrong. The finale of the game is phenomenal.
yeah, and I think it was a jump, wasn't it, in board games? The type of.
Well-
right. Do you know what I'm going to say? This. I'm going to throw this one out there as well. This isn't going through, is it?
No,
This is, but this won't go much further.
I wouldn't have thought this will get past the next round.
No.
But we will see, Greg. We've been surprised today, haven't we?
Very
And I
surprised.
think you probably have too. And I'm sure there'll be those of you that disagree with us, but it's our programme, so...
So, turn over. Listen, one thing. Is this still going?
Yes, and it's been going long before that version. I think it was a 50s thing. Let me have a quick look. Geg.
Who's Keg?
No, 1963 it came out, 57 years ago.
Oh, see, I thought it was a new game in the 80s.
No. Do you not remember the older packaging?
No, this is the only one I remember.
I'm afraid Mousetrap, you're out. Space Attack all the way.
Wait there, listen. Let's go on.
There you go. Space Attack is through to the next round of the Board Game Championships of the World.
Welcome.
Just get on with it.
Jason, I mean, this is not really true because I actually own my own house, but in the context of the joke, you just got to go along with it, okay?
It's always going to be a belter when you have to explain it first, isn't it?
Jason,
Yes.
my landlord texts saying we need to meet up and talk about the high heating bills. I reply back, sure, my door is always open.
Wanna make your home a warm and cozy. Slimline heaters are for you. 7, they run on economy. 7, cheaper electricity. Heaven, 7 hours at night. You'll get it at a price that's right.
Come in and see us and order now, or dial 100 and ask for free phone 4477 for written details on our short-term credit. Interest free.
We will see you again soon on Tin Toast. Tra.
Trump.